What is up, Rally Towel fam? Welcome. Good evening. Happy Thirsty Thursday. Corey, how we doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. Getting things done. Going on vacation next week with the family down in Tennessee, volunteer country.
Nice.
Emphasis on the cunt.
Where are you? Well, what part of Tennessee?
It's called Rutledge, Tennessee. About an hour outside Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, and all that stuff. So about 2 hours, I think, 2.5 hours west of Charlotte. It's where we'll be posted up at Lake House. The fam, grandma, aunts, uncles, everybody, cousins, everybody's rolling in. So should be a good time.
Boat as well.
We're getting a boat, getting a couple Sea-Doos.
There you go.
Got the lily pad mat for the kids to play on. Got I think we have 4 kids under 4 that will be there, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, that'll be interesting. This
must be like a giant lake house then.
It's Sleep 16. We're gonna be in a room with the kids, with the girls, so like they'll be on like bunk beds, and we'll have like a full size bed. So that'll be interesting. But it'll be a blast, I'm sure. So looking forward. Gonna play a little golf while I'm down there.
Nice.
Got league tomorrow night as well, so I should be nice and tuned up. Did you watch any of the British Open today?
No, I did not get an opportunity to check it out.
Yeah, it was a lot of guys doing pretty. Rory did pretty well. I think he's 2 off the lead last I checked. 6 under on the day behind Cameron Young, who posted an 8 under on the opening round, which is fantastic. But
wow,
got to be hard to hold that up. I don't know if we're gonna see like. Remember, I think it was like 2010 or something like that. Tiger posted like a 24 under at the British Open or something like that. I don't know that we're gonna get that low, but we'll probably be working with some double digit subpar rounds,
that's a tough course, man. It all depends on
I
mean, if that wind picks up, man, that course is just brutal.
Yeah, the wind was whipping. We had a couple guys throw on some hoodies mid round, and you saw that even Tiger was able to drive very far because the course was so firm. It's been a very dry spring, is what they were saying in Scotland. Which was, if you know anything about golf, the drier the conditions of the course, the firmer the ground is, the more roll the ball gets, thus the farther the drives are. And so that you were seeing some guys put it out there, guys like Rory, obviously, who can just absolutely clobber the ball. Ryan, appreciate you liking the stream, buddy. Oh, yeah. Thanks for dropping in. So these guys that can absolutely clobber the ball. I mean, there's a reachable green on the 18th. One of the interesting parts about that golf course is that holes 1 through 17 all share a green. So some of the largest greens, I'm talking 3,500 square feet of green on some of these holes. So makes it for very interesting when you're looking at like 140-yard putts for eagle and stuff like that. So saw some good scores. Tiger struggled a little bit. Last I saw, he was at like 6 over. Had an eagle opportunity. I think he got down to 5 over. He bounced down to 4. He had back-to-back birdies at one point. Got to 4 over, and then I think he drifted back up. Got down to 5 over. I'm not sure where he landed yet, or landed today. I love the British Open though. I absolutely love it because I can go to work and it's already been on for like fucking 6 hours, and I just turn it on. Coverage starts at like 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
Yeah, it starts at the absolute ass crack of dawn.
Yeah, obviously you do the fact that it's in fucking Scotland, which I think is 7 hours ahead of us, if I'm not mistaken. Could be 6 to 8 hours. But anyway, no, it's cool. I mean, St. Andrews is the old course, as they call it. It's one of the most historic courses in golf, and all these guys get up for it. I love Rory. I root for him all the time. So he's had some strong starts in the last few majors, and it'll be interesting to see if he's able to carry that through, obviously tomorrow and then through the weekend.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see him turn it on. I mean, he definitely has the ability to be the world number one. He's been there before. He plays a really good game. I've seen him
Blake
play
Walker liking the stream. What's up, Blake? Blake Walker is CDD. Yeah, coming in. Bruce, they love it, man. Blake at a CDD Football Academy. Obviously, our guest that we had last night awesome interview with Blake. If you haven't already, go check it out on our YouTube page. If you're watching on Twitter and you want to jump in the chat, which we encourage you to do so, jump in the chat, go to our YouTube page and engage there. So we appreciate everybody dropping in tonight. Love to have you.
Absolutely. Well, we'll get right into it. We had some big news in the NBA world today. DeAndre Ayton is on the move. Corey, what are the details of this trade?
Let me pull this up for you here. So DeAndre Ayton is headed to the Indiana Pacers, and that's a big one for Todd. Obviously, he's a huge Pacers fan. We like to cover the Pacers here, but here's the deal. He's agreed to a 4-year, $133 maximum offer sheet deal from the Indiana Pacers. So what that means is he is currently a restricted free agent. So it's an offer sheet. He is not a Pacer as of yet. When they submit this deal, the Indiana Pacers do, the Phoenix Suns now have 48 hours to match that. They control his contract. They control his livelihood, I guess, if you would say, in the NBA. The thing about it, this would be the largest deal, I believe, the largest offer sheet, basically. So when these restricted free agents come up and the team has the ability to match it, this is the largest deal that's ever been put on the table for one of these types of players. The likelihood of the Phoenix Suns matching a contract of that size for a guy that doesn't really want to be there would be wild, absolutely wild. So I think it's safe to say that DeAndre Ayton is an Indiana Pacer, and it's an excellent acquisition for the Pacers. I mean, I think he's a great double guy that not a double guy, but you're going to get 12 and 8 out of him.
Certainly double ability.
Yeah, block and a half a game is what you're going to get out of that guy. But at 8 to 12 rebounds, 8 to 12 points, that's coming out of him every single night. So a great addition for the Indiana Pacers. Also, making them more appealing, and there's some life there in Indiana. I'm hearing rumblings that the Indiana Pacers are going to make a move to trade for Russell Westbrook and bring him into a Pacers uniform. That and to quote a Pacers fan, that sounds gross. That's Todd, of course, that I'm quoting there. So it'd be a
I love Russell Westbrook and his talent, but there's not a lot of teams that his gameplay meshes well with.
Control the ball 87 to 90% of the time.
Yeah, he's a ball hog. And in the truest fashion. And I don't know if that would be a good fit for an Indiana team that's young and they're trying to rebuild. They obviously got a great piece, or potentially getting a great piece with Ayton. I would hate to see him. I would hate to see him bring Russell Westbrook there. I think that would be terrible for them.
Yeah, I honestly don't think that there's been a team that he's gone to that he's really made them a contender. He can score in bunches for sure. Obviously, he struggled massively last year with the Lakers. So you're going to get a massive payroll hit, salary cap hit for the production that doesn't equal what you're going to pay. At least that's what he showed last year. Ryan with a comment here saying, good to see all those Reds players making the All-Star game. We are going to get into the All-Star game a little bit later tonight. Appreciate that comment, though. Currently, though, man, I don't know. Have you been watching the Reds lately, Bob? I know it's hard to do, but have you been?
No.
They've been playing good baseball. Let me put it this way. They've been beating teams and hanging with teams that they have no business doing so with. Obviously, they've split the last two with the Yankees in New York. Prior to that, the Reds had a 3-game outing with the Rays. They took 2 out of 3, beating them in the finale 10-5. They took the first one again, and I'm talking about some of the best teams in the American League, in baseball even. The Reds took the first one against the Yankees, lost in extra innings last night to the Yankees, 6-7. And they're currently right now 1-1 in the bottom of the 6th. 2 outs, duck on the third pond. But it's more of the same shit. I'm not getting my hopes up or anything, but I do have an employee of mine that is a Yankees fan. He's from New York, so he's not just like I just pick the Yankees. He's Yankees, Rangers, Giants. Knicks.
He's all about it.
He's all, yeah. I mean, he's from New York. Those are his teams. I totally get it. So, but he was like, man, I don't know. I'm watching that. I'm like, even he was just like, it blows my mind just thinking about, first of all, he like rubbed salt in a wound. He's like, man, just like thinking about like all those players that the Reds had just a couple years ago. I'm like, and I'm just sitting there going like this. He's like Wade Miley, Nick Castellanos. I mean, and he just keeps going. I'm like, yeah, Jesse Winker, Eugenio Suarez. Keep going. Who else you got? He just keeps Sonny Gray. Just keeps talking about all these guys that the Reds used to have on the roster. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah,
walk out in front of a bus.
Well, no, and then he followed it up with a comment. He's like, dude, they still have some players. Like, they still have some dogs on that team. Like, Jonathan India is a fucking dog. And I was like, great. Yeah, he's NL Rookie of the Year, you know? So they still have some solid players on that team. But it's just not enough. It's just not enough. So
no, it doesn't look like they're motivated to do anything about it anytime soon either. So that's kind of where my interest dies, you know. And it's sad. What you drinking on?
Oh,
that looked a little tough,
dude. It is. It's Tito's and Fresca.
Tito's and Fresca. So
you ever had a Fresca before?
I've never had a Fresca before.
It's delicious. It's grapefruit soda with no sugar. It's fantastic. It is. I drink it on ice. It's delicious. It is absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend.
Coming in with the question here: is Big Meat Pete going to win the Derby for a third year straight?
It'd be pretty cool.
Question. Let's go through the lineups here.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Let's go through the All Star home run derby lineups. So it's bracket style like it was last year. You got
the polar bear,
the number one seed Kyle Schwarber going up against what I would assume is the just the celebrity vote with Albert Pujols getting in there for his last hurrah.
Dude, can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
Can we talk about this before we go into the lineup? This is bullshit. I'm sorry, it's bullshit.
I don't want to see Pujols in there.
I don't want to see Albert Pujols has 6 home runs. 6. That's it. He has no fucking business being in the home run derby. And what did he do? What did Albert Pujols do? He took the slot of somebody that should be there. And that's the whole thing, man. The All-Star game in general, I'm not trying to be a downer. I know we're about to talk about it a little bit, but this is one of the things I wanted to talk about when we talk about the All-Star game. It's bullshit.
Popularity contest.
It's stupid. It is so stupid. Absolutely ridiculous. And it's just the fact that it's a popularity contest. And that comes at the end of the day. Like yesterday, we were talking about Joey Votto. We were talking about All-Star game appearances, right? Those are one of the things that we're talking about when people get into Cooperstown. That's asinine to me. It's absolutely insane. I think the same exact thing for the Pro Bowl, by the way, for the NFL.
Does a home run derby appearance count as an All-Star appearance?
I'm not sure that it does. I'm not sure that it does. I
think it does.
Yeah, because I don't think Todd Frazier has an All-Star game appearance. The Todd father.
Really?
I don't think he does.
I'll double check that.
He's a home run derby.
I thought he was in the All-Star game that year.
Maybe he was. He had a great year. Absolutely fantastic year. The Todd father, of course. Flava Frage.
If he wasn't in, he should have been in.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong on that one.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the last dance for Albert Pujols. I think the MLB is just trying to milk every last little bit of publicity they can get out of this man. I mean, it will. Hopefully, he goes there and puts on a show. Maybe he'll surprise us.
Maybe.
Batting practice is much different than a game. I'd love to see him compete with Schwarber, but if Schwarber's on, he's going to be hitting 500-foot moonshots, and Pujols isn't going to stand a chance. Yeah. Although Pujols is, one of the last people that's probably ever going to touch has he got 600 home runs?
Yep.
Yeah, probably one of the fewest we're going to see for a while. Reach that mark. So,
where's Trout at?
I want to say he's in the 350s.
He's still got a solid 10 years left. So
let me check that stat real quick.
What hat are you wearing tonight, bud?
This is the Louisville Corn Mashers. It's an alternative hat to the Louisville Bats.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's fucking sick. Going to give the camera a peep of that. Let's show the people. Get a little bit closer so we can see what's actually going on up in there. Look at that hat. Look at that. Look at that bourbon barrel going on there. He's got a fucking burlap sack of corn.
Oh yeah.
That's a beautiful hat there, Bob.
Thank you, sir. It's one
Fantastic.
of my favorites. It's one of
Absolutely
my favorites.
fantastic.
This was a gift from Todd.
So Ryan's saying it's going to be a long time before we see somebody hit 600 again. And I think that's kind of one of the things Todd talks about a lot is just how ahead
334.
He's at 334, and what is he, about 29 years old?
He
30 years old? He's our age, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe he's our age. Where the hell? More bio.
And what if he's younger than us?
August 7th, 1991. So he will be 30. He will be 31.
He'll be 31. Yeah, so he is. He's one of us, man. He's a class of 09. Last class to make you say, oh. So, yeah, we are. And, yeah, one of the things Todd talks about a lot. I know, Ryan, you've seen us talk about it, engaged in a little bit. Just pitching is just, here he goes, more because pitching has evolved so much, and it's evolved so much. There's so much more science behind it than there is with bat. I mean, there's only so much you can do with a bat. There's only so many ways that you can swing it to maximize the amount of space that you're taking up in the strike zone when you're swinging the bat, right? There are regulations on it. Interesting thought that just popped into my stupid fucking head. At what point we've seen the alteration of the baseball, right? We've seen the elimination of substances that pitchers are used on the mound. All of these things are to limit the pitcher, right? Those were the reason behind those. At what point do we start emphasizing the bat? I'm not talking about aluminum. I'm talking about larger bats. At what point does that come into the game, or does it at all?
I mean,
not from a purist standpoint. I know maybe like you as a sports purist would be like, I don't want that, but I'm saying, could that happen?
I was just my brain immediately went to like the actual application of it and how that would look, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be tough for the bats to be bigger because you're going to add weight to the bat, and adding weight to the bat's going to slow down the swing. You can't change the material because that would fucking somebody die. If Major League Baseball players were using aluminum, there would be deaths.
Well,
because the ball is being hit so hard.
I think that just I don't buy that simply for the reason that we can literally 3D print organs at this point. I think we can manufacture bats that aren't made of real wood that cannot. What I'm saying is they can be the same weight as a normal bat, but cover more surface area, right? They can they could do that. I think we have the power to do that scientifically, engineering wise, all of those things. So let's just say that they can. Let's just say that the bat can remain the same weight and all of those things, and they can increase the surface area of the bat to give the batter a better chance of making contact. Is that something? I mean, because strikeouts are at an all-time high. Like you said, we're not seeing these guys that are going to get close. Maybe Aaron Judge is the next guy that could even get to that 600 mark. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Are they going to alter? Are they going to get to the point where they're altering the bats?
I don't think that will ever happen. Altering the size, I don't think the size of the bat has anything to do with the problems at the plate.
Okay.
And I don't even think it would help if they were a little bit bigger. Because I mean, how often when guys are striking out, how often is it like where they're just under it or they're just over it?
Sure. I mean,
I wouldn't say that that's a very high number.
I mean,
I don't have the stats on it, but I mean, when these guys
it's usually a few inches.
You can't make a baseball, but the average circumference
I'm talking about putting motherfuckers out there with like one of those big barrel bats.
Like Mark McGwire big barril. Like, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Because I think what I would see as a more reasonable thing that they might consider doing is moving the pitcher's mound back a few feet.
Ooh.
I would see that happening before them changing the size of the bat.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I like that a lot.
That's the most reasonable solution because, like
Ryan said, why wouldn't they?
The average speed that a guy is throwing is 95 to 97, so you're giving him a couple extra milliseconds. Moving it back a little bit might make pitches even more nasty, though, You know, I mean, you've already seen
all the break on it.
How much pitches break now with them at 60 feet. If you put them back at like 65 feet, I mean, who knows what would happen? An extra 5 feet for that ball to move, that'd be ridiculous.
Here's the thing: we talk about like what's the coolest thing in baseball? Home runs. Everybody loves home runs. Everybody loves chicks dig dingers. That's what they like, right?
Dig the long ball, baby.
Dudes dig chicks. The thing about it is, I just absolutely just fucking. Oh, so here we go. I'm back, baby.
Oh, you catch it.
Yep, right. Just get back here. Get back here. So, I think one of the things that I'm starting to see on like Instagram Reels now and stuff like that are like emphasizing these pitches, and Ryan's talking about it right here. If they move back, imagine the movement. 2 feet's a huge deal. One of the things I'm starting to see on Instagram now is them advertising or highlighting these nasty pitches that these guys are coming out with, where they're just starting, a foot outside the zone and then coming back and painting the inside corner or something, or vice versa, right? And that's one of the things that they're putting out on Instagram, on social media, and they're advertising like, look how fucking nasty this is. And not only that, one of the like backyard games that's actually becoming more regulated now, and there are leagues behind this and rules and teams being formulated. Wiffle ball. And what is one of the major things about wiffle ball is that as long as you touch the strike zone at some point, whether it goes behind the batter and hits the strike zone, whatever,
as long as it hits that little rectangle.
There's a rectangle. Typically, it's made of like PVC or something like that. If the pitcher can throw it all the way up in the air and it can come down, as long as it makes contact or lands within that rectangle, that's a strike. And so we're talking about accelerating the game, making the game more fun to watch. Is there a point where viewers just kind of turn their focus to wanting to see amazing pitches?
Yeah, I mean, I love watching great pitching as it is right now. I think it's one of the most.
I think we're the outlier, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love seeing dingers. I love seeing a dude connect with one. I mean, when I was in Cleveland, I saw not Schwarber. Fuck, who am I thinking of?
Aaron Dude, that Judge,
Aaron Judge.
You saw the Yankees. Okay.
God, who was the back
Stanton?
There? Yeah, I saw Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge hit back-to-back dingers, and they were
nice
missiles. Absolute missiles.
The Reds hit 3 back-to-back last night, I'm pretty sure.
Shit. Hell yeah. You got to love that. Yeah. That's going to get you pumped up for sure. But no, I mean, I don't know what they do, man. Pitching is getting so dominant.
Yeah.
There's going to be some changes. I don't know what they are. If it's moving the mound back, if it's making the bats bigger, if it's shrinking the strike zone. I don't know maybe they make the plate smaller. Maybe they make home plate smaller. Make it tougher to make
the strike zone smaller.
Yeah, make the strike zone a little bit smaller and more challenging.
There you go.
For pitchers. I mean,
there you go. But you got Angel Hernandez back there. It doesn't fucking matter. That motherfucker. Get him the fuck out. So let's get back to Ryan's comment here. Alonso winning the Derby. Let's roll through that lineup one more time. Who we got?
We got Kyle Schwarber, number 1 seed.
He's from Middletown, Ohio. Did you know that?
Repping.
Yeah.
Against Albert Pujols. The number 2 seed is Pete Alonso going against the number 7 seed Ronald Acuna Jr. The number 3 seed is Corey Seager going against what is his first name?
He's been all or nothing this year, Corey Seager. He's been all or nothing. It's either gone or out. That's it.
Right. Julio Rodriguez from the Rangers.
2 Rangers in there, huh?
Yeah, he hit a 450-foot moonshot off of Sandy Alcantara on May 1st.
God damn.
Yeah, 450. So
Le Premier de Mayo.
The dude has power, raw power. Yep. And then the 4 and 5 seeds going, you have Soto and Ramirez. So it's gonna be a great derby.
Who you got winning?
I don't know, man. I find it hard to believe that Big Meat Pete's not going to 3-peat.
I think that's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. Can I tell you who I think my best value bet is?
Sure.
Based on how hot he is right now playing baseball, do you know where I'm going right now? Just how hot he is right now in the game of baseball, the way he's swinging the bat right now, the way he's making the contact right now. Mr. Juan Soto. Oh, that's my pick. That's who I'm putting money on for the home run derby. Juan Soto, champ, bringing it home to the district. That's it. That's who I got winning it all. So I think that he's actually on my fantasy team, as is Corey Seager. Corey Seager's on my fantasy team right now. RBI'd for her pleasure. And
great name, by the way.
Yeah, fantastic. I love it. First time playing fantasy baseball, and it's helped me learn a lot more. Like Nestor Cortez, I didn't know who that was, and now I'm learning more about him. And I'm also learning he's a fucking goon on the mound. He's a goofball, dude. That dude is a goofball on the mound.
Ryan's got Ronald Acuna. You got Acuna. You got Acuna beating Alonso in the first round.
In the first round, baby.
You better put some dollars on that if you're believing in that.
If you're feeling that good, take on drive down to Lawrenceburg, big dog. Throw some cash down.
I'm sure the odds on that would be in your favor if he actually does win.
Yeah, that's why I like Soto. It's not a crazy pick. You know, he's got a very winnable first round, and if he can win that one, then he's gonna, he just needs an upset to get some favorable matchups.
Yeah, I mean, so if he wins that, he'd be going against Schwarber, because I don't really see Pujols beating Schwarber.
Right.
So I mean that would be a great matchup.
It'd be so much fun. And he can win that one too. He can win that one. I think that's a fair match. And that's why I'm picking him, is because I don't think that there's anybody out there that you're like, oh, he's light years above him. You know what I'm saying? And the only guy that really makes sense to say that about is Pete right now. Didn't they call him the polar bear or something like that at some point? Wasn't that his nickname, or am I thinking of a different guy? Pete Alonso, I feel like his nickname was the polar bear at one point. I don't know why that's coming to mind, but that he would be the only. He would be the only one that you could really say that against, just based on his previous performances, right? That's the only reason why you could say that. Obviously, anybody against Pujols, I'm taking them. But this is BP, man. This isn't, maybe Pujols has got a guy that's like really just like really in connection with what he does at BP and knows how to throw him out there for him, and he can just crank him. I don't know. Sure. I don't know. I mean, it's not necessarily, when it comes down to hitting home runs in the home run derby, it's not about bat speed. It's about mechanics and contact. Hitting it in the right spot to the right part of the field. That's what it's about. Yeah. It's not about swinging out of your shoes. So you're not like, oh, this guy hit. That's like Aaron Judge. He might not win a home run derby contest. You know what I mean? It's different than playing in a game. So
I mean, you saw Shohei play in it last year, and he was like almost leading the league in home runs.
Yeah.
And
he got bounced in the first round, didn't he?
He got bounced in the first round, but it also messed his swing up for the rest of the season. His swing was wrecked.
By the way, the other night, did you see what this motherfucker did? He hit a 2-run triple, then goes out on the mound and throws a 101-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah,
just a fucking freak. Just he is the Russian in Rocky IV.
Right.
He is.
Break you.
I would break you.
Ryan, the All Star game is being held in good old Los Angeles. And Dodger Stadium. I looked up the dimensions of the field. Left field is 340. Left center is 385. Dead center is 395. Right center is 385, and right field is 330.
It's not a gimme park.
It's not a gimme park, but it's also not a large park.
Right. Right. It's not Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, down the lines, it's pretty easy. Boston down the line, I think it's maybe 250 feet just to sneak inside the foul pole.
But you got to hit it.
Right field. I'm talking right field.
Okay. Yeah.
Then obviously left field is. I
mean, left field short, but you just got to hit it high.
Short, but you have to hit it 80 feet in the air.
Exactly.
The massive wall, the green monster. Ryan said, to your point, that's why I have Acuna. I feel like he has a great derby swing, especially for Dodger Stadium.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think any one of these guys that are in it have the ability to take home the trophy. It's going to come down to, every year it's just going to come down to who can get in a rhythm early with their pitcher, and who's going to execute. The way that it's been done the last couple years, They have, I think it's 3 minutes, unlimited swings. You get one timeout, and it's as many home runs as you can hit in that time frame.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Which is exciting. The old rules used to be 10 outs.
10 outs, yeah.
You have to pick your pitches, but the way that they've got it set up now, I think is perfect. Yep. I think it makes it way more exciting. You're seeing a hell of a lot more home runs, and that's what the fans want to see.
It's way better than the All Star game. It's way better than the All Star game.
It's always better than the All Star game.
Dude,
All-Star game sucks.
Can we just get the fuck away from the All Star game mattering? Can we please get the fuck away from the All Star game mattering?
Yeah.
To where it decides home field for the fucking World Series. Absolute insanity. No one on the Cincinnati Reds, no one on the Detroit Tigers, no one on the yada yada. Any of these teams that have no business in the postseason this year have any business in deciding on who the fuck gets home field in the World Series. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. If you want to find a way to decide home field, whichever team has the best record in the regular season record in the World Series, they get home field. Just like, I don't know, every fucking sport, every other sport, it comes down to your regular season record, where you're seeded in the playoffs based on that.
Football.
Based on that. Well, no, that's not true. Well, yeah, because they play on a neutral field, but right. leading up to the World Series, right? That's how that goes. Right, with the exception of football and college football, games that are played on a neutral field. Any sport where a series is played, a best of is played, the home field is home court, home ice, whatever, is decided by the way you performed in the regular season, where you are seated in the playoffs. Not what did fucking some dude that's been picking his ass for a month and a half, he's already taken a vacation with his family and put on 15 pounds, what he did in an all-star game in the bottom of the ninth when somebody was just lobbing pitches up to him. It's just fucking stupid. Absolutely asinine. There's so much shit that baseball does. It's just like, why? Why is it this way? Oh, well, we've done it that way forever. Stop. Absolutely stop. Could you imagine if you how many times do we go as employees, go to a job where that's the case? And what is our reaction then? We're just like, yeah, well, you don't have to do it that way. We could also evolve, right? Not baseball.
That's why I left my last job.
Yeah, right. I mean, it happens all the fucking time.
It was, we've never had anybody bring that up. Oh, okay. What are we gonna do about it? We're just gonna keep doing it the way that we're gonna do it.
I don't know, man. Whoa. I think I'm going to need to take the rest of the day to think about this. You've really given me a lot to think about. And they go back to playing fucking solitaire on their fucking computer.
All right, so who do you have in the actual All-Star game? I know that you're not a huge fan of it, as am I. Let's see here. Elected starters for the American League. You have Alejandro Kirk catching from Toronto. Guerrero Jr., first base, Toronto.
Yep.
Altuve is at second. Rafael Devers is man in third. Tim Anderson's at short. Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Giancarlo Stanton, and Shohei Ohtani rounds out that batting lineup.
I'm not mad about any of those, really.
No, absolutely not. The legacy selection for the DH was Miggy. Of course, that makes complete sense to me. I believe he can still hit a baseball. Starting for the National League, you have Wilson Contreras catching Goldie at 1. Jazz Chisholm Jr. from Miami at second. Manny Machado at third. Trey Turner at short. Acuna, Jock Peterson, and Mookie Betts are in the outfield. Bryce Harper is DHing with Albert Pujols as the legacy selection at first base.
You know, and I'm not mad about most of these guys. I'm really not. But at the end of the day, I don't think that I still stand by my point that collective group should not decide home field. They shouldn't. And I understand that they want to put some meaning behind the game, right, to give it a competitive advantage.
It's to try to get people to watch. That's the only reason that it.
Well, you know how you do that? Here's how you do it. You put $1 million to the winner. $1 million. $1
million purse or $1 million to each player on the team?
Or just $1 million to be spread out amongst the team. Or put something, everybody gets a fucking Corvette. Do something not that impacts the most important series in the game.
Right.
Do something to motivate the players themselves, not something that impacts the teams that have earned their right to be in the most important series in sports.
What would be a fun motivating factor? Like what would get you jacked up as a player? You've got
Cash, bro.
you've got a max contract. Money's
Yeah.
not an option.
Okay.
What else would motivate you?
So I'm Mike Trout. What's going to motivate me?
What's going to motivate you to get out there and give it 110%? So in a game that doesn't matter,
In a game that doesn't matter,
this game no longer matters. So what is that one thing for you that's going to be like money's not an option? This game doesn't matter. What are you going to go out there and play like? Holy shit! We need to win this game because I want.
I still think it's cash. I think it's cash. Yeah, you can't do anything with the contract because you can't impact individual teams with that. You know, these guys, you know, money, they have all of it, right? So it can't be like a vehicle or anything like that. I guess if you were to put some kind of charity thing behind it, but we've seen that and it doesn't really work. I think it's cash, dude. It's still money. Money. And if you told Mike Trout, would he rather make $60 million a year, or would he rather make $61 million this year because he won the All Star game? He would probably rather make $61 million and go out and get it, right? Go get $1 million. All you have to do is win this game. Go win one game, right? It's not a full win one game for $1 million. If you said that at every game, if you said if for every baseball game, if you won, you got $1 million.
Ryan said a free drug test pass.
Or yeah, or they do like a huge, like maybe they do like the winning team gets an all expenses paid trip to a private island with their families or something like that. They get to take their whole family to Disney World or something like that. And so they're playing for something outside of themselves that still matters a lot to them, like their kids' joy, right? Or their loved ones' joy. That could be something like, all right, winners, everybody gets a 6-night all expenses paid at Walt Disney World. Go. They'd probably be like, all right, I want to win this game. I want to win for my kids or something like that.
Right.
Put some incentives behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't know what you can offer guys that have, most of these guys that are in the All-Star game are
some of them don't, though. You know what I mean?
Don't have these.
They're
big
still on their rookie
like
deals.
Pete Alonso doesn't have a big deal.
I don't think. What's his name? Toronto.
Guerrero.
Yeah, I don't think he's got fucking a fat contract right now, does he? He's still on his rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So some of these guys aren't reeling it in. You know, throw
nice
cash out there.
Paycheck would be nice.
Fuck yeah, for one game that he's probably not going to play the whole game. He's going to play like 3 innings. Yeah. Hell yeah, he's going to give his all.
That might piss me off.
Yeah, if you're there
for 3 innings, then I have
better
to fucking somebody else to win.
Right, you better keep me in that fucking lineup, bro. We got to go get this paper.
Right, absolutely. No, I mean that would be interesting. I'd like to see them do something different with it. I don't know what it looks like. I think cash would be a little too boring, though, at least for the fans. I think you have to remember that because if there's not any,
what do we punish the losers in some fashion? Give something to the winners, but also the winners get to like shave the heads of the losers, or just something to that extent.
That would be hilarious. Number one.
What's this coming here from Ryan?
So, what sport has the most players that could play professionally in another sport? Yeah, it makes complete sense.
Yeah, no, I get
you're talking about like the most well-rounded athletes, and what sport is it that could go and play any other sport? That's a great question. I think football players and baseball players, I think I think that would be pretty 50-50. They could go back and forth because there's a lot of football players that play baseball and vice versa. I don't think baseball players would transition well to basketball. A select few of them might. They just don't have the size. And I think basketball players some of them are too large and not quick enough to go play football.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's football players, personally.
I would say football players, but I would struggle with them on like I don't know.
I mean, some football players make that transition to baseball, but not all of them can do it. I think the same is to be said about baseball players. Not a lot of them could make the transition to the physical demands that come from football, right? Like, I mean, Mike Trout's an anomaly, but like Shohei Ohtani, I don't think he could go out there and fucking line up against somebody. I think he would get absolutely fucking destroyed going across the middle. I honestly believe
I don't know,
that.
man. Shohei's a big dude.
Okay, Guerrero Jr. He's big, but he's not lean.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's not going to run a 4.5 40.
Right, he would be gassed by the second quarter. You know what I mean?
Because baseball is all sprints. You know, it's not consistent running. I mean, football is the same.
You can go an inning without moving.
Right? Yeah, you can
especially in the outfield, right?
Right.
In the outfield, just stand there and just have people look at your ass. That's literally what you do. Yeah, literally. So that I with that being just the physical demands that already exist in the sport, the size, the strength, and the speed that is required for football. That's why I think they can, like, you've seen Myles Garrett play basketball, like he can just ball.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You're right. I think football's the sport that is the most has the most versatile athletes.
Saying Aaron Judge would be a badass receiver. See, I don't know that he could beat a corner in a sprint though.
I mean, you got to think Aaron Judge is only 6'6", right? Megatron was what, 6'5"?
Yeah.
But Megatron was 100 pounds lighter than him and could fly like the wind.
And ran like a fucking deer. He ran like a fucking gazelle.
And he could jump out the gym. I'm not saying Aaron Judge can't jump.
I'm sure he's got hops. I mean, he's fucking massive, right? But
right. I know he can go up there and get one, but I don't think he catches one pass against any corner in the NFL.
Yeah, like Jalen Ramsey is locking Aaron Judge down, right?
Yeah, there's no shot. Jalen Ramsey would eat him for lunch.
That being said, like I would take Jalen Ramsey over Aaron Judge in a one-on-one matchup or in a basketball game. Like if I was picking teams, if I was a team captain and those guys, Caroline. Thanks for liking the stream.
Coming to you live from Cancun.
Cancun, man. Hey, ladies. Sorry, you're not. Bobby's just like, God damn it, they're so lucky. He's got so much. He's so jealous right now, dude. We are all jealous.
I don't even have a fucking passport.
That's true.
I could have went even if I wanted to.
I'm jealous for you just because I was in Cabo in February, like literally 5 months ago, and I can't wait to go back to Mexico. I cannot wait to go back to Mexico. Anyway, I was a captain of a basketball team and I had to I had first pick. And Aaron Judge and Jalen Ramsey are standing there. I'm taking Jalen Ramsey first. He's quicker. He's more athletic. I feel like he would produce more on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying?
I'm taking the NBA All Stars 10 days out of 10.
NBA All Stars versus MLB All Stars in a football game. Who you got?
NBA, 100%.
Yeah, dude. Just the size, I think, and again the
athleticism,
the conditioning. The conditioning alone, like MLB is not about conditioning. It's hand-eye coordination and mechanics and arm strength. That's
there's a cardio aspect to it. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, you can't be a fucking you
gotta be fast.
John Daly. You can't be ripping darts out there.
You know, basketball players on average run 10 to 15 miles a game.
That's insane. That's insane. That's absolutely fucking crazy.
I would bet that Major League Baseball players maybe move 2 miles in that 3-hour period. 2, maybe.
He's saying they all have zero quarterback. That's fine. Run the spread option. The spread option. They're not catching you. They're not catching you at all.
No, and I would put money on it that there is somebody there that can throw a ball.
Oh yeah, dude. This brings me to a great point. So there is something to be said about like an athlete in general, right? I don't care what sport they're playing, what sport they specialize in, rather. You take somebody from that is really good at one sport and you're playing another sport with them. Like let's say you had a buddy that's like a D1 college football player, right? And like you guys start playing pickup basketball. It is noticeable how much better they are at sport in general than you are at anything sport related because they're an athlete. They just have that. They're just that much more athletic and better that it translates. That raw ability, that raw talent, that physicality, that conditioning, all of that stuff. It just transitions. It really, really does. And you can just tell when somebody that, like I was saying, somebody that's really good at football and you go and play a pickup basketball game with them and they're just fucking balling on these dudes that aren't even relatively close in any other sport. So,
and I bet you if LeBron James was at quarterback, he'd be dropping dimes.
Dude, LeBron could fucking be the number one goalie in the MLS. I'm fully convinced about that.
Yeah,
I'm fully if he had trained his whole life to be a keeper in soccer, he would be one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, if he could go play in Europe.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And if he had trained his whole life at being a swimmer, LeBron James would make Michael Phelps look like a toddler.
Yeah.
He's just genetically gifted. And that's what that shit is, man. It's just genetic gifts that are amplified by conditioning.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I mean that's just who I'm assuming he's talking about LeBron James.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's genetically gifted that has been amplified by hard work, dedication, and then once he got to the league, science, training, coaching, all of those things, they've just amplified. Yeah, he takes great care. But let's just be very like there are certain people that are born to be professional athletes. They are just gifted to do that, right? LeBron James is one of those people. It doesn't say he's a better person than but he's better than you at sport. Any sport. I would pick LeBron James over you in any sport. You listening right now, I would pick LeBron James over you in any sport. Any sport. I don't care what it is. Golf? Sure. Let's go. Todd liking the stream.
What up, Todd? How we feeling, sir?
Hope he's feeling better. He's on the mend for COVID, so send your T's and P's out to the Gottschalk clan as they rebound over COVID. He's lost his voice. I think it's because he went to that fucking Dixie Chicks concert personally, but I mean the COVID and the lost voice is what that's from. Todd is a huge Dixie Chicks fan, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what I heard. It's pretty wild.
Absolutely.
All right, well let's move into some hometown stuff. I know we talked about the Reds a little bit. We got some news on Jesse Bates. In the last hour in our group chat, it's been kind of like a roller coaster. But Corey, walk us through the Jesse Bates situation and kind of what the current status is.
Yeah, so Jesse Bates is franchise tagged by the Cincinnati Bengals. And basically the report that came out today was that Jesse Bates, amongst other notable free agents, such as I think it's Brown, the left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, or right tackle, offensive lineman. Sorry, I can't remember. Dalton Schultz, tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody currently that is a franchise tag player, it would essentially, according to Adam Schefter, take a miracle for a deal to be done before the deadline, which is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Once that deadline hits, contract negotiations cannot continue any longer. You cannot re-sign a player under a franchise tag tomorrow after 4 p.m. And insiders are saying that most of these deals aren't going to happen. It would take miracles for a lot of them to happen. Excuse me, that Tito's and Fresca got me. It would take a lot to happen for one of these guys to get a deal, basically, is what the reports are that are coming out. So disappointing to hear that as a Bengals fan. End of the world? Absolutely not. I mean, Jesse Bates is still on the roster, guys. He's going to play. He's always said that he's going to play. He's been out of the optional team activities, OTAs. He hasn't been there for those, which why would he be? He will be there for training camp. He'll report. He'll be there in practice. He'll be ready to go. He would benefit from being prepared for the season, right? He would benefit from having a good season. Why? Either the Bengals would offer him a deal that he would want to come back to, or some other team would offer him a deal that he would want to come back to. I have always said that Jesse Bates is a guy that we should pay about $14 million up to $16 million a year. I heard somebody float out that he was wanting $18 million a year. I think that's too much. I think that's too much for Jesse Bates. I'm okay with admitting that. He wants to be the highest paid safety in the league. That's the reports that are coming out. If that's the case, I'm okay. I'm okay with not paying him. I think the Bengals.
What if he goes out and just has an absolutely incredible season?
Then you don't let him leave. You don't let him. Let's be very clear. If Jesse Bates has an absolutely amazing season, the Bengals are going to be very good. They're going to be very good. I think a lot of people already think the Bengals are going to be very good. I think most people have them in the top 8, if not the top 5 in the NFL going into the season, which, let's be clear, they didn't lose a lot. What, CJ Uzama and Larry Ogunjobi, those are the biggest losses of the years. Well, let's start looking at the things that they added this offseason, looking number 1 at the offensive line, number 2 at the secondary, number 3, the offensive line, again through the draft, right? So the Bengals have done a lot to bolster an already really good roster, and there's not a lot of gaps left. There's a lot. They're really good on paper. It's yet to be determined what they're going to do. We'll find out September 11th, 2022, and the Bengals play host to the Steelers in Paul Brown Stadium. I will be there live, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby, I encourage you to do the same. But I really think if Jesse Bates goes out and balls and has a great season, then the Bengals make an offer that he would want to take, and I think he would want to stay there. One of the things that you really hear from these veterans is that no one loves you like the team that drafted you, right? No one takes care of you. No one thinks about you the same. No one values you as much as the team that drafted you. Right. Jesse Bates was the 3rd-round pick out of Wake Forest, right? He was a guy that had a high ceiling. It was kind of a reach there when they took him, but he came in and he excelled, and he became way more than we had ever expected out of Jesse Bates when we drafted him. When we drafted him, we were like, wow, this guy could be pretty good. Now he's established himself as a top 10 safety in the league. So I think if he goes out and balls, I think the Bengals will offer him a competitive, fair deal and lock him down. But listen, the Bengals have a lot of other priorities when it comes to spending money coming down the pipeline. So I think that's where their head's at.
Yeah, for sure. Brian said, "Say that to Baker." It's a great point. It's a tough point. Nobody loves you like the team that drafted you except for Baker.
Well, I mean, to comment on that, honestly, I don't know if you guys remember in our group chat, this was, I can't remember how long ago this was that I think this was like last Friday when I sent you a graphic on Baker Mayfield. And I'm scrolling through our chat right now trying to find that specific graphic, and it was put up from Colin Cowherd. Now, albeit Baker Mayfield has had a lot of different coaches, and I had been a big Baker Mayfield defender on this program specifically. But one of the things that came up for Baker Mayfield was in regards to his performance since he had been a Cleveland Brown. He had not ranked higher than, I think, 29th in completion percentage. I want to say yards per. You got it. Go ahead and read that for everybody, Bob.
All right. I gotta get a little closer to my face.
We're getting old.
NFL ranks since 2018, completion percentage 57.4%, ranks him 30th. Interceptions 19, tied for last Passer rating 77.7%, ranked 29th in the league. Minimum 250 passing attempts.
So is that per season?
It does not say. I think it's just since 2018.
Okay. That's not good.
So essentially, everybody who's started a considerable amount of time too. I mean, 250 passing attempts is maybe, I don't know, 6 games if you're slinging it.
Yeah, that's 6. You know? Yeah, that's not just starters, full season starters. That's guys that have come in and played for injured players, or you know, guys that have bounced around, or whatever it is.
That list is probably, I would say, probably 60 or 70 guys deep. You know, since 2018. Not great. Not great.
Who's on that list that he's competing with that makes it hilarious? Let's think about that.
Yeah, I don't have the list in front of me, but let's.
Sam Darnold is on that list. Cam Newton.
Zach Wilson's on that list.
Zach Wilson's on that list. Cam Newton's on that list. Geno fucking Smith might be on that list, bud.
He very well could be.
Geno Smith might be on that list. Since 2018, we're talking about 4 years. And don't forget, Geno Smith played a good stint at Seattle.
Yeah.
When Russ got hurt. I remember we were broadcasting when Russell Wilson's pinky decided that it wanted to be
that was gnarly.
Independent of the rest of his fingers. That was fucking sweet. Yeah, Carson Wentz is on that list. There's Tyler Huntley is on that list. There's a lot of guys that are on that list that
Mitch Trubisky's on that list.
Mitch Trubisky's on that list. Absolutely, he is. There's a lot of guys on that list that aren't number 1 overall picks, right? And I honestly think the Browns did the right thing when you identify that a guy is not it. When you look at a guy and you know this guy is not Joe Burrow. This guy is not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not that. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, they maybe they could have done it in a better way, but I mean, if that's not the guy that you see moving your franchise forward, it's best to just rip the Band-Aid and move forward. Granted, do I agree with how they did it? No, but that's how they did it. So I mean, obviously he's in Carolina. They're playing week 1. Baker's got every opportunity now to go there and show them why they made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Will it happen? I don't know. We'll see.
And the Panthers have been open about saying we have an open competition for starting quarterback. And they've got 3. And they've traded, I think it's about 7 top 4th round or better picks to obtain that quarterback room that they have, which is star-studded. Are you ready? It's Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and Matt Corral. So they have number 1 and 3 from the 2018 NFL draft, and then they have a 3rd round pick from this last NFL draft, making up their quarterback room. So, or Matt Corral. I said Sam Corral, I think. So Matt Corral.
You said Matt Corral.
Oh, I did. Okay, thank you. Ryan with a comment here. Ryan with a comment here. He said, "Excuse me." I got so excited.
I know you just word vomit.
You think Tyreek Hill does terrible this year with Tua?
Okay, so let's over under this. Let's see how many catches is he averaging a year?
Go ahead and pull that up. And while you're go ahead and pull that up. And while you're pulling that up, Tyreek Hill came out with a comment this week and said that this year's Dolphins feels a lot like the 2019 Chiefs. Do you remember who won the Super Bowl in 2019, Robert?
Chiefs.
Chiefs did. So that would mean that Mike Gesicki is Travis Kelce, that Tua Tagovailoa is Patrick Mahomes, and that fucking Matt and Chad, who's their fucking head coach again? This dude out of San Francisco. God damn it. He's a fucking entertaining guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He was the offensive coordinator from San Francisco. He's got glasses. Son of a biscuit eating butthole. I can't remember his name. But that would mean that he's Andy Reid. And that they have Tyrann Mathieu somewhere stowed away there. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry.
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that this year's Dolphins are the fucking 2019 Chiefs. I'm sorry.
I
You
mean, don't
have
get me
the
wrong.
build.
There were
You
some
have the
games last
build.
year that impressed me, where Tua impressed me. Obviously, they had that streak where they lost a bunch of games and they won 6 in a row, and Tua played great. But that's a bold statement from Tyreek.
He's a bold motherfucker, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's a bold motherfucker in more
he
ways
went for
than
the
one.
bag, and
Well, he went for the bag. He does some outlandish shit. He says some outlandish shit, and you kind of are allowed to, or are allowed that when you perform at the level that he's performed at. And let's be very clear, Tyreek Hill is a very, very good wide receiver. I have yet to be convinced that he went there because he thought that was the best option for him to be successful, though.
oh, for sure. I mean, you remember the comments he made when he first went there. It was like going from a Cadillac to like a, I don't know, like a Ford Focus. Comparing Tua and Pat Mahomes. So like my mind went, is he just doubling back and trying to give his quarterback some confidence, coming into the, stages of, training camp and OTAs and things like that, where he's trying to double back on what he said about, because Tua got shit on for a solid like 2 months because of the comments that Tyreek made about.
Well, and then they put that fucking video up of him just absolutely quacking a ball out to him where no defenders, but Tyreek Hill had to come back to the ball. Do you know what my ceiling is for Tua? Baker Mayfield. That's the best he can be, in my opinion.
Wow.
I wanted him to be successful. Before the draft, I was like, Joe Burrow, Tua, I'm cool. I was a little worried about Tua's injuries, but I was like, dude, I'm cool. Either way, it'll be good. Then I saw him play in the NFL, and he couldn't get healthy. Couldn't stay on the field. It's just...
Could you imagine being a Bengals fan right now with Tua at the helm?
Just watching Joe Burrow just like
slay out.
Just fuck bitches, do lines of coke, and take the Dolphins to the Super Bowl? No, I couldn't imagine that right now.
It'd be terrible.
In another universe, in the upside down of Stranger Things, that's happening right now.
Right. Still a show I need to watch. I still have not watched Stranger
Things. Dude, oh my, it's so good.
Everybody tells me it's great.
It's so good. It's amazing.
But back to the Tyreek thing. So his catches per year, 2016, he had 61 receptions. 2017, he had 75, 18, 87. 2019, he had 58. 2020, he had 87. And then last year's best year, 111.
Wow. So, last year was his best year, really. Mm-hmm. What about touchdowns?
Touchdowns, he's got 56 throughout his career. 2020 was his best year with 15. Last year, he only had 9 touchdowns for 111 catches.
In 2019, what do you
have? He had 7. 2018, he had 12. 2017, 7. And then
you got catches over 20 yards handy as well.
Let's see here.
I think that's a stat they record. I thought it was.
Let's see. There's his longs. His average. His average is 7.7 yards a catch
for his career.
Yes.
What was it in 2019, 2020, and 2021?
2021, 10.7, 2020, 9.5, and then that can't be right.
What was it?
2.9?
2.9 yards per catch in 2019. Wow.
He only had 58 catches.
So does he do better?
So he probably had a lot after the catch.
So I'm trying to
yards per reception. I lied. 11.2 in 2021, 14.7 in 2020, and 14.8. Sorry,
okay.
That was yards after the catch that I was telling you.
So coming down, right? He's regressed every year. I'm not sure how old he is.
He is
probably upper 20s.
1994 is 28.
Yeah, 28 years old. I don't see how that's possible. I don't see how it's possible that he's better. Does he do terrible? Probably not. He's probably still a good fantasy pick if that's where you're going with this, Ryan. I still think he is the number one production for them. I honestly believe that. So terrible, I would say no. Another question here coming out of Ryan Bob.
Yeah. Any breakout running backs this year? I mean, look for Nick Chubb to have another just great year. That dude's a machine.
He did great last year, though. Who's a guy that was maybe middle of the pack that you expect to kind of pop off?
Najee Harris. He was great last year. Obviously, he was a rookie. But just look for him to just compile on his momentum from last year. Najee Harris is going to be absolutely amazing. The Steelers have made improvements at the O-line. Look for them to be a heavy run first, old school Steelers football team this year. Especially with Mr. Trubisky at the helm, they're going to be running the football, try to establish the game early. Najee Harris is going to be getting a ton of touches. So that would be my choice. I know it's a homer pick, but I haven't.
No, I like it. No, I mean, yeah, there's no reason to disagree with that. I've got a couple, and they're both guys coming off an injury. First pick, I'll stay in the AFC North. J.K. Dobbins. I think J.K. Dobbins is. We saw what he is a beast. We saw what he could do. He's going to come back and he's going to be healthy. I think J.K. Dobbins, you can get him late second, late third round as a running back. You might be able to grab this guy. And I really, really like J.K. Dobbins coming in there for the Baltimore Ravens. Another guy, we haven't seen him in the NFL yet, but I think he's going to be very special. Very, very special. Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne, I think, is going to absolutely take this league on fire. He's going to do great. He's going to do absolutely fantastic. He's going to be the number one producing offensive player for the Jacksonville Jaguars, in my opinion, at least in terms of fantasy outside of Trevor Lawrence. So look for Etienne. Another guy, listen, we talked about everything that they did with the offensive line. And a lot of times when you talk about offensive line, you think about, oh, man, that's going to benefit the quarterback. That's really going to benefit the quarterback.
JoJo.
I'm telling you, dude, Joe Mixon's about to fucking eat.
I had Joe Mixon last year. He was solid for me last year. He's going to be even better this year.
He's a top 8. He was a top 8 fantasy running back for like the last 3 years, right?
Yeah, I think I got him in the second or third round.
Yeah, sometimes he'll probably go mid second is where his average is at.
Fourth. It was
fourth round.
I don't remember. It was not exceptionally early though.
Wow, that's a steal.
So my brother's league is very heavy quarterback.
That's right. You have like 2 quarterbacks that have to start. That's right. Okay, so disregard what Bobby was just saying. He's not going in the 4th round in your league.
In a standard league, he's going, probably late first round.
Yes, late first round, early second. That's probably where he's going to go. So, with that being said, I honestly think Joe Mixon could be a top 5 fantasy running back this year. He is going to absolutely benefit from everything the Bengals have done. He has never played with a good offensive line since being in the NFL. He hasn't. Sir. This is going to be the first year that he, at least on paper, has a solid offensive line.
It's going to be the best wall he's had in front of him in 5 years.
Yeah. Already did
Ryan
that one.
Also asking, does Jonathan Taylor have a similar year? Jonathan Taylor is a model of consistency, but that O-line in Indianapolis is magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not taking any credit away from Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is an excellent running back. He sees the field well. He's got good hands out of the backfield, but I hope he's taking care of that offensive line and taking them out to dinners and buying them presents, and because he's got some massive holes to run through there in Indianapolis. But yeah, I think he has a similar year. Obviously, there's QB change there in Indianapolis, so we'll see how that transitions with Jonathan Taylor's output and usage. But I don't see it being any less than what he did last year. So I would assume it's going to be something similar as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And they keep getting better on offense. That's going to take a little bit of pressure off him and open things up for him as well. They have an absolute threat at quarterback now in Matt Ryan. And people forget he's only a few years removed from an MVP. And Matt Ryan still can throw the football. I just think that Atlanta really didn't give him an opportunity to win. And that's why he was able to get himself out there. So another question coming from Ryan here. He said, I'm going to keep coming. That's what she said. How's Trey Lance gonna do? There's a lot of buzz going around about Trey Lance and the fact that the 49ers have not traded Jimmy Garoppolo yet. So this is a big story going around in the NFL right now regarding Trey Lance. And I'll tell you personally, Ryan, I really hope Trey Lance does well. And let me tell you why. Because I took him as a flyer at the end of my dynasty draft last year. It was our first year doing it. So if you don't know what a dynasty fantasy football league is, it's amazing. First of all, you have 19 roster slots. At least this is how we do it in our league. 19 roster slots. You keep everyone going into the next season. This upcoming draft, 3 rounds. We have 3 rounds and what is called a taxi squad, and you can put your rookies on the taxi squad, and once you activate them to the active roster, then you have to drop somebody off, right? Similar to other leagues where you're allowed a taxi squad. But the point being that you build a dynasty, right? You're rewarded for drafting well, developing well, trading well. You can trade future draft picks, all of these things, trying to simulate more so like what a real NFL team is like. The quarterback to score 50 points isn't out of the question. That's kind of how the dynasty league is. So my quarterback coming into this year is Trey Lance. So I'm very hopeful. I think he's not shown any reason why he wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Good. I haven't been like, oh God, that's bad, right? Watching Trey Lance, I haven't seen that. I just don't know that he's had the reps or the time yet. So I still think there will be like a 4-week learning curve before we really see who he is. What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was pretty big on Trey Lance last year. I was surprised they didn't bring him in sooner, but
they were in the NFC Championship game. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy G played very well. With the amount of money that San Francisco spent on Jimmy G, I was shocked to actually see them select Trey Lance when they did. I thought
how much they gave up to get to that pick too.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, what is their motive for Trey Lance? I mean, if you're going to give up that much capital to bring this guy in, why are you going to have him ride the bench for 2 or 3 years? Or are you just trying to go for like an Aaron Rodgers situation where he sits for a couple of years, then he comes in and just shreds? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like Trey Lance. I think he's got a lot of potential, a lot of upside, but we need to see him get on the field and actually see what he can do. As far as what role Jimmy G is going to play in that, I don't know. Obviously he would be a great backup to have, and he did that for quite a long time to Tom Brady. I don't think he's ready to go back to that role just yet, but it's the best job in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best job in the NFL. You get to carry a clipboard and make millions of dollars each year, especially on the contract that he's got. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's as far as his body is concerned, I think it's a good thing for Jimmy G. But as far as him as an athlete and a competitor, I think it's a terrible thing for him. Obviously, I know the guy wants to play, so that would crush me as a human being. But I'm high on Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is going to have a good year once he actually gets it going and gets some reps in. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, Jaden with a comment here saying, have you guys heard of Corey Kiner? First of all,
I just looked him up.
I did too. Spells his name correctly, first of all. So big shout out to Mr. Kiner here from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Going to LSU.
He already went to LSU, but
he already went to LSU. I'm sorry.
And he's
5'9", 217 pounds.
And where did he go to high school? Roger Bacon.
Went to Roger Bacon.
Roger fucking Bacon. And This dude is a running back in the SEC. So given some stats on Corey Kiner from last year, he had 79 touches for 324 yards. Nothing crazy, but he was averaging 4 yards a touch. Took it to the house twice. His longest run was 26 yards, 2 catches for 10 yards, obviously averaging 5 yards a catch. No receiving touchdowns. His longest catch of 6 yards. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? I've never heard of him. Jaden, if you have anything else on him, drop it in the chat, man. But that's pretty sweet. Kid from fucking Roger Bacon playing in the SEC at LSU. That's exciting, man. That's exciting. Absolutely exciting. And kind of going back to, we're talking about running backs right now. Ryan's question about guys that are going to break out. One guy that I am really excited to watch his role expand. I'm not saying that you need to be taking this guy as a huge fantasy pick or anything like that. Chris Evans, rookie running back for the Cincinnati Bengals last year. Showed some flashes of really, really good play, not only as a running back, but lining up as a wideout as well. Having that ability to catch the ball and make things happen out in space, fantastic. He does a fantastic job, and his top end speed is redonkulous. Absolutely redonkulous. He's so fast. So I'm really excited to see America's ass do something special out there. And Chris Evans. Oh, who did I catch down here? What? Upside down.
What's up, kitty cat?
It's Lola. She doesn't literally like to be held a whole lot, but she come on and see us. Look at her. What the fuck is going on? L-O-L-A Lola.
All right, Ryan coming in saying early Super Bowl predictions, ? But before we get to that, Jaden came in with some more information on Corey Kiner. I played varsity running back all 4 years. I think he honestly had the same style of play as Jerome Ford, and I think he will be a running back in the NFL very soon.
He's got 2 more years before he's eligible for the draft. I'll be interested to watch. I'm going to keep an eye on him now. Easy name to remember for me. So, Jaden, we'll be talking about. I'll be down there September 11th, buddy. You better be at that tailgate for the Bengals-Steelers game, home opener. I know you'll be there for No-No's birthday. So, I expect a full-page report, double-spaced, no less than 250 words on Corey Kiner and his performance in week 1 and 2.
Annotated references as well.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Early Super Bowl predictions. So we talked about that. I know you didn't tune in last night, Ryan, but we talked about it last night. I don't know if we can do this, Bob.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little too early.
Well, not only that, because we're going to be doing a show where we make not only Super Bowl predictions, we are going to predict the record for every team. We are going to predict division winners derived from the record of every team, from which you can then derive playoff seeding. We can do our playoff brackets. We can pick who's going to be in the conference championship game, who's going to be in the Super Bowl, who's going to win, all of these things. It takes some legwork, but we are going to do that before the first kickoff of Thursday Night Football. Rams, Buffalo Bills. Dude, that is a fucking banger. That is a great game. That's going
to be a great football game.
That's so much fun. That is so much fun. Absolutely amazing. Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford, just watching people fall off stages and get fucking brain injuries.
That was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, he's a dick. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, the entire University of Central football running back room. It's going to be fun. University of Central Florida. Sorry.
That's gonna be a banger of a game. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it. I'm ready for football already. We're in the dog days right now. We've got the All Star game coming up next week. It's the only shred of sports we have for the next, till the end of July, beginning of August.
But there was one thing that we, you, me and Aaron off air last night touched on a little bit that I wanted to talk about tonight. If you still got some gas in the tank,
let's go.
We talked about college football and all of the things that are going on with the realignment. Obviously, we know that USC and UCLA have made the jump to the Big Ten, and that has kind of shaken up the college football world. We've heard that Oregon and Washington have applied to be a part of the Big Ten, and that will be reviewed. Utah has not made their stance clear. I want to know who you think, Bobby, because what it seems like is that everybody's going to start. It's going to be like fucking roaches when the lights come on, right? Everybody's going to start scattering.
Yep, everywhere.
Who in your mind is the team that makes the most sense to make a move? Where do they go? Maybe you don't know where they go, but you feel like they make the most sense to make a move, and we'll take it from there. What are the maybe 3 teams in college football? We'll focus just on college football that make the most sense.
I mean, when you look at that from that perspective, I'm going for just pure market size and what the value is going to bring. I think I mentioned it last night. I think Oregon is a university that is going to make a move. I don't know which way they're going to go, but Oregon's going to be there. They've got such a huge following. Obviously, they've got the brand recognition. They've got all the latest gear with Nike and everything. They swoosh. Obviously, their founder is an Oregon alum, so I think that makes a ton of sense. And then I don't know if we see teams like Notre Dame and like Purdue get in there.
So honestly, I think Notre Dame makes the most sense to me, right? I think Notre Dame makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons in that they are a national presence.
Correct.
Notre Dame fanhood is not regionally focused because they have no association regionally. Their association is in Italy, in the Vatican City, right? That is the association with Notre Dame and Catholicism, the most popular denomination of Christianity that exists in the United States. So there's a natural connection there for those people that practice that way. And when they root for college football, they're like, oh yeah, I'll pick Notre Dame. That'll be my team. Notre Dame also recruits nationally, and they recruit nationally well. They recruit out in California. They recruit in Florida. They recruit in Ohio. They recruit in Georgia. They recruit in Pennsylvania, If Notre Dame only focused on recruiting in in Indiana, where they are located, such as Indiana or Purdue or Ball State or Northwestern, well, that's Illinois, but you get the point. If they only focused on recruiting in that region, that the program would not be as good. To me, go ahead.
No, I was just go ahead and finish your thought on Notre Dame, and I'm gonna touch on Ryan's comment here in just a second.
Sure. So Notre Dame makes the most sense of me going to, and I will name a conference, the Big Ten. I think the cards have been played, and I think Notre Dame is almost being forced at this point to go to the Big Ten. And what that will do is allow Notre Dame to maintain some key rivalries. Correct. They have a key rivalry with Michigan. They have a key rivalry with Michigan State. Ohio State would be an amazing addition to their already impressive resume of rivals. Outside of that, they would be able to maintain rivalry with USC that they already have. If you could go to Notre Dame and tell you, listen, I can put you in Columbus every year. I can put you in the state of Michigan every year. I could put you in Pennsylvania every year. And I can put you in Los Angeles every year by coming to the Big Ten. Notre Dame's all about it. Not only that, the Big Ten is all about it because all of this, everything that we're seeing with realignment is about one thing and one thing only. Dollar bills, y'all. It's about the TV deals. Look at the markets that they went and got. Do you think UCLA is a better football program than Utah or than Oregon or than Washington? The answer is very clear, my friends. No, they are not. They are not a better football program than either of those teams. But what they are is the city of fucking Los Angeles, second largest city in the country. And they are going to generate a shit ton of money when it comes to doing that TV deal for the Big Ten. And that is why they are in the Big Ten going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan saying they should just do 4 conferences at this point: Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, Southwest. That would give you 40 power schools and extend the playoffs to 8 teams. So let's break this down a little bit. So you're saying 40 power schools, you're splitting it up into
10 and 10 and 10.
10 and 10.
No.
So are we creating a new division? Are we creating a division above?
That's what they already had. That's what they already have, though.
Yeah.
That's the old way. That is the old way. That's the Pac-12, the Big 12, the SEC, and the Big 10 or ACC or whatever, right? So you take the ACC, Big East, and split it up and divide it between the Big 10 and the SEC, right? That's all you would be doing at that point.
Right.
I
like the extended playoff. I like moving the playoff to 8 teams. I don't know if that's a little. I mean, I would love to see it. Number one, I just don't know. Well, I mean, How would that work?
What do you mean? In what regard? What in
I'm
which
just
part? The extended playoff?
Yeah, 18 playoff.
An 18 playoff. So here's how I had envisioned it prior to this realignment. Every Power 5 conference, again, this is prior to realignment. Every Power 5 conference got an automatic. Every Power 5 conference champion got an automatic bid to the playoff, right? And then you take a 3 at large. So what that means is, let's think about last year's conference champions. You had Alabama would have gotten an automatic bid out of the SEC. Clemson would have gotten an automatic bid out of the ACC. Michigan would have gotten it for the Big Ten. Utah would have gotten it for the Pac-12, and Big 12 would have been, I believe it was Oklahoma that won the Big 12. So those 5 teams are in. From there, you can draw you can draw at-large bids for the next 3. So you would have gotten the University of Cincinnati, right? They would have been in as a top 8 school. I'm trying to think of some of the other top 8 schools that missed the mark. I think Penn State was up there. I think Ohio State was up there. So let's say that it's Ohio State is the other team. Michigan State was up there for a little bit too, but they kind of fell off at the end, if I'm not mistaken. But so yeah, let's just say it was Ohio State, Cincinnati, and another team to be named. They are all in. They are all in now into the college football playoff, and that's how I would see it working. Now that we're in this realignment, I don't see the Big 12 as valuable as normal without Oklahoma and without Texas. I don't see the Pac-12 as valuable without USC. Obviously, USC didn't win the Pac-12, but they were in the Pac-12 championship last year, played Utah, right? So I don't think it has to come down with conference champions anymore. Where do I see it going? I see us getting to a point of being in 2, maybe 3 large conferences, but under one league. It's more of a league-centered, where you mainly play your own conference, but you also play interleague games, and there's some kind of larger platform. I don't think 8 games is the answer. Especially if we get to 2 conferences, I don't think 8 teams is the answer. I mean, not 8 games, 8 teams. I think something more along the lines of like 14 or 16 teams, something along those lines, or like where the NFL does it, where 14 teams where you can do a first round bye.
Yep,
something like that. So that's where I see college football going, and from there, you're talking about, what about all the bowl games? What about none of the bowl games matter right now? Nobody gives a fuck about any of the bowl games. No one gives a shit about the Curly Fry Bowl or the Mayonnaise Bowl or the fucking Lawnmower Bowl or any of this bullshit that's going on right now. Nobody gives a rat's fucking ass about any of it.
The fucking the Fresca Bowl.
The Fresca Bowl. But what you do when you make these games playoff games, suddenly the fucking Cotton Bowl and the Alamo Bowl and the Gator Bowl and the Peach Bowl and the Citrus Bowl, all those bowl games are bigger. All of them matter more. And not only that, you, as the NCAA or whomever the governing body is at that time, can charge more for it. And that's all like we just said earlier. It's all about them dollar bills, y'all. They can charge more because the game matters more, and you're going to get people that tune in for that more.
Absolutely,
right? It's that. And if I was in charge, which everyone here listening knows I should be, if I was, that's what I would do. Is I would expand the playoffs, make the playoff games bowl games, and then just drive revenue based on those being massively important games. Like the Sony Fiesta Bowl. Well, it costs $1 million. I don't know what the figure is. It costs $1 million to be the sponsor of the Fiesta Bowl this year. Well, next year, when it's a playoff game, guess what? It costs $4 million. And guess what? Sony, they're paying it. 100%.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they've got it for sure. Ryan, we appreciate your patronage and taking the time out of your day to be here, man. Definitely appreciate. No, sincerely, thank you. You've come in and honestly, contributed.
You're the man.
Asked a ton of questions and definitely kept the conversation very easy for us. Very, it's flowing. So we definitely appreciate it. Love you. What else do you have for us, Ryan? On that note,
Jaden had a comment here, said, "Why do a good amount of high school football players wear like a cloth helmet on the outside of their helmet now?" So
I haven't seen that.
What I have seen is if they've kind of worn almost like the rugby style helmets when they're doing like walkthroughs and stuff. Like they've worn those. I don't know about high school, but I've seen like college players have worn those for like walkthroughs and stuff like that, just for extra protection. But I do also think that there's probably some head injury thing related to that. That would be my guess. No, you haven't been inappropriate, Ryan. I mean, you don't have to be as. You can more nipple talk is fine too.
Hats off to you, sir.
No, you've been great, Ryan. You've carried the show, man. You've done a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. Jaden said that's what I'm talking about. I'm seeing a lot of them in 7-on-7.
Yeah, I think it's just extra head protection, just in case if they fall, smack their head on the turf or something like that. I think that's.
They're not paying attention. Somebody hits them in the face or the back of the head with a football.
Been there.
Deafen the impact a little bit, but.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the top of the ninth. Fairchild is now at bat, and on first base is Nick Senzel. The Reds are tied with the New York Spankies 4-4. There are no outs in the inning, and the Reds have a chance to take a second straight series against a team they have absolutely no fucking business competing with. Obviously, the Rays salary cap is similar to that of the Reds. I'm not going to say it's the same, but it's similar. The Yankees, on the other hand, are simply on another fucking universe in terms of what they spend for their roster in comparison to the Cincinnati Reds. So shout out to them. We'll go run through a quick score update going on in the world of baseball. I already mentioned 4-4, top of the ninth in the Bronx as the Reds are taking on the Yankees. Royals taking on the Blue Jays in Toronto. Royals up 3-1, bottom of the ninth there. Dodgers taking on the Redbirds in St. Louis. They're up 4-0 as the Southside Sox take on the Twins, bottom of the sixth in that one. White Sox pummeling the Twins 8-1. New York Mets are up 6-0 on the Cubbies. Abysmal season there for the Cubs. Everybody was expecting it, though. Mariners down they're down 4 to the Rangers, who are up 5-1 there. Astros in a nice matchup in a interconference game going against the Angels. It is 2-2 out there in Anaheim. And
Jonathan
Brewers
India currently sitting in a 3-2 count. Runner on second. We're waiting for the pitch track to come in. I'm just sitting here just staring at it. Just please.
Did we get a pinch run? Did we get a because I show Fairchild at bat.
I've got Jonathan India at bat. Albert Abreu on the mound. Says 3-3 counts. That must mean he struck out.
You got an out?
Brandon Drury is now at the plate. 2 outs. Runner on second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're way ahead of me. I love it. That'd be awesome if the Reds could pull that off. That'd be fun. It's just fun. I know they're not going to do anything this season, but for them to
struck
beat
out on
the
a foul
Yankees.
tip.
Jonathan India did. So we're headed to the bottom of the ninth.
No, we're still top of 9, 2 outs. Brandon Drury's at the plate.
Brandon Drury, dude, one of my best fantasy baseball acquisitions I've made this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting 280. He's got 18 dingers.
Dude, having a
On base
great
plus
year.
slugging's 870.
Great year.
It's pretty solid.
What's his current contract look like?
I don't think it's anything to write home about. Let's take a look here.
Is he a farm boy? Did we draft and bring him up?
Brandon Drury.
I know nothing about him, other than the fact that he's done really well this year.
He was drafted by us in 2010 in the 13th round.
Dude, that's exciting. That's exciting because he is literally leading us in almost every offensive category this season. Batting average, home runs, RBIs. Like, he is leading the Reds in offense. That is fucking.
Brandon Drury is on a 1 year, $900,000.
Dude, just throw $6 million at him and just fucking make him a hometown boy. Let's go, Brandon Drury. All right. Once we trade Joey Votto to, let's just trade him to the Yankees. Just let him go, get a ring. Let's trade Joey Votto. Here we go. Joey Votto and Luis Castillo to the Yankees, and in return,
I apologize. He was drafted by the Braves.
God damn it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. When did we get him?
That's what I'm trying to dig up.
When did we get him?
I believe we got him this year on a 1 year deal.
Extend his ass. Absolutely, he's earned that, right? We have the fucking money. So here we go. Joey Votto, Luis Castillo, go to the Yankees. I want Stanton back in return. We're going to put Stanton behind the dish. We're going to kick Farmer out to first. We're gonna revamp this thing. We got India at 2, Moustakas at 3. I guess Farmer's just solidified himself as a shortstop. We're gonna keep Senzi out in center field, and we're gonna just keep this fucking misfit toys rotation that we have going on in the corners in the outfield. Now and then you're really honestly you're just riding on fucking Hunter Green
Right.
and Nick Lodolo, and you have to think that Lodolo is gonna rise up and be something at some point. Obviously, he got fucking annihilated when he came up here, but they sent him back. They didn't keep him up. They didn't Homer Bailey him.
He wasn't ready.
They didn't Homer Bailey him, is what I'm saying. They sent him back. Okay, you got a taste? Cool. Go back, get to work. That's fine. The only reason why I'm not optimistic, though, every single part of the Reds organization is in last place. Every single entity of the Cincinnati Reds is in last place. What the fuck, man?
I mean, at what point does like pride take over? Like, you're like, we sucked for so long. Like, what are we gonna do about it? Are we okay with being just the absolute worst organization in the history of baseball?
At what point does Major League Baseball say you have to sell? This is too much of a storied franchise. This is too important of a franchise. You have to sell.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Honestly, it should have happened 5 years ago. But unfortunately, that's not the case.
No, I mean, honestly, I felt really good after, not last year, but the year before. I felt really good.
Yeah.
I was like, they've put something together here. They got some pieces. Now go spend the money in the offseason and add more. Spend money.
I felt great last year when they had that roster was stacked last year.
It was
felt
beautiful.
Really good about it.
I felt really good.
And I was like, wow, maybe they actually do want to win a championship. And then this year, the Castellinis just shit on all of our dreams. And it's like,
no, shit on our chest, Bob. That's what they did.
Or was it our pillows?
Yeah, they gave us pink eye. They gave all of us pink eye. So when you look in the mirror every morning, we wake up, when you're shaving your fucking stupid face, I want you to think about us and how much we fucking don't care.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't give a fuck, man.
Has the MLB ever done that where it's like they're forcing a team to sell?
No, but we should. We should put a dead fucking horse's head in Bob Castellini's bed.
Going Godfather on their ass.
Fuck yeah, we're going Godfather on their ass. No, Scarface. No, Godfather. Yeah, Godfather. Yeah, Godfather. Thank you. Rest in peace, rest in peace, Sonny. Rest in peace, Mr. Carr. Mr. Can, James Can. James Conn. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, but fuck that guy. He was an abuser anyway. You know, beat his wife. Fuck him. Great movie, man. Great movie. I have found people in my life that have never seen The Godfather.
Do what now?
Right? All right. What's your favorite? What's your favorite God? First of all, here's a question. Do you like Godfather Part 3?
Yes.
I do too. I enjoy that. A lot of people are like, it's fucking ruined Godfather. No, it didn't. It's a great show. It's a great movie. I enjoyed it. What is
Coppola's
your
a fucking master?
We all know that 1 or 2 is the best. Which one is your favorite?
I'm a fan of the original. I like the first one.
I can appreciate that. There's a lot of great parts in that. You get a lot of the Don Corleone. You come here.
Marlon Brando is just a genius.
And yes, absolutely. He is amazing. I will see your Marlon Brando and I will raise you a Robert De Niro, because that's what you get in part 2. Obviously, yeah. You get Robert De Niro as a young, Don Corleone, and dude, it's fun. I love Godfather Part 2. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. Just the ups and downs, the character development that you get. Obviously. With Pacino being, Michael, and being the Don, and everything that comes along with it, it's fantastic, absolutely fucking fantastic.
Yeah, wonderful set of films.
If you haven't watched have you played the video game? By the way, I know you're a huge gamer.
Yeah, I loved it,
dude. It's so good, so good.
Yeah, absolutely,
so good.
That was years ago. That came out so long ago.
It came out almost 3 years before. What was that? Noir. What was that? L.A. Noir.
L.A. Noir. Yeah,
same kind of.
Was super hyped up. It was good, but it wasn't.
It was okay.
You could play twice.
No, you couldn't play it.
That's kind of what sucked about it. Like Godfather, you could run back through that and build your character back up and be the boss again, which was sick.
Kind of. I mean, all of them were precursors. Were they all Activision?
Your test. I have no idea.
Because they were all
they were definitely precursors to Mafia.
Well, not only that, they were precursors to GTA 4, because GTA 4 came out 2 years after both of those games.
Yeah.
And then GTA 4 had that same vibe. All the driving styles were the same. Obviously the third-person shooters.
So it's not Activision. So you think Rockstar did it?
Rockstar. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know who it is.
I think you're right.
Josh Layman in the house.
Josh, you can probably answer that question. Josh, which company made the original Godfather game? Was it
Rockstar? Made Godfather, and I think Rockstar made L.A. Noir. I'm pretty sure they did.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to GTA.
It was developed by EA.
EA, okay. EA. I think they bought Activision, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they?
I don't think so. I don't believe so.
No? Okay, I could be wrong on that. Whatever. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what else you got for us, man? What else you got for us tonight in the world of sports? Doesn't have to be sports. So they definitely knocked the soap out of our hands. That's what Ryan said. They definitely knocked the soap out of our hands. Did the Castellinis. Jaden Teal liked the stream. They made L.A. Noir. Okay, cool. So, yeah. I enjoyed that aspect of that game. There's a little bit more detective, finding clues and searching the scene.
I think it was a game that was way ahead of its time.
That's fair. Everybody was in the run and gun mode.
Yeah.
Everybody, Modern Warfare 2 had just come out. I don't think
anybody was ready for a game with that amount of depth.
Dude, it was so much. There's so much shit you could do within that game. It's like Skyrim, but in a 1950s crime mob.
Oh, Skyrim's scene. In a fucking league all of its own.
But you know what I mean? Just all the layers.
Yeah.
Jaden said, "Want to buy the Reds with me?"
Jaden, I would have to start an OnlyFans.
Jaden, I would.
Have that kind of money.
I would. I'll throw in 20. I'll throw in 20, Jaden. If you got the rest, I got 20. You know what? I got 5 on it.
What if the city of Cincinnati just put a pool together where we just pulled
what if we all bought the Reds
and we just all made Castellinis an offer and just bought the Reds?
Dude, can we start a GoFundMe? A Rally Towel Sports GoFundMe to buy. He said I'd sell pictures of my ass on the internet. You're a minor, Jaden. You can't say that. You're a minor.
That's illegal.
God damn it. We are not associated with anything that Jaden just said.
Yep, that is We do not approve of that in any way, shape, or form.
Nope, not us. Okay. No, I that would can we do that though? Can we start a GoFundMe to buy the Cincinnati Reds? Can
Like,
that
what
be
would
a
happen
thing?
if we just got like hundreds of millions of dollars?
I mean, how many people are in the city of Cincinnati? Like 1.5 million
A few
or
million.
so. Let's ask Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. How many people are in the city of Cincinnati?
As of 2020, the population of Cincinnati was 309,317.
All right. 310,000 people. That's low.
That's not a lot.
Now, greater Cincinnati, now you expand out. You're talking about Hamilton, Dayton. You know, there's Reds
And then
fans
you
in
also
Dayton.
have guys like Charlie Sheen.
And
That
then
would
you're
probably
in
fork over quite a bit of money.
shit. Okay. So let's say 310,000 people. If we had 310, this is the content everyone's looking for here. If you had 310,000 people and everyone donated $20, we would only be at 6.2 million. The Reds are probably valued at like $6 billion. So we would need everyone else to donate $1 million. So we can get Charlie Sheen.
How much are the Cincinnati Reds worth?
Okay, I found this on the web for Hey Siri.
Now, she's giving you a link.
Check it out.
She's giving you a link. Go ahead and while you're looking at that, we can get Charlie Sheen to invest.
1.19 billion.
1.19 billion. Okay. All right, so we got some work to do. Charlie Sheen would invest for sure. We've already established that. Can we turn to a guy like Jerry Springer? Jerry Springer, throw some cash.
Maybe we could call LeBron.
Maybe LeBron. It's a great investment opportunity, right? That's Joe Burrow.
Joey B.
Let's start investing. Like Patrick Mahomes is part owner of the Royals now, right? Joey B. Let's start investing in sports teams. That's what we need to do. That's it right there. That's where people. The Reds need to turn into the next. This is from Jaden. Reds need to turn into the next Packers, where the people buy stock in the team, but there's no actual owner. Yes, I agree, but I don't think that will ever happen in the old boys club that is baseball. Unfortunately, just won't happen.
The only reason it exists for the Packers is because that's how the franchise started.
Yeah,
and
I mean, if they
came into owner ever.
Yeah, if they came into existence today, it wouldn't be the case. Wouldn't be the case. Wouldn't be the case.
A little bit, but
oh boy.
Well, chat. I don't know if they have anything else for us. Corey, do you have anything to add?
We're coming up on 2 hours, man. This is a great show tonight. I appreciate everybody for fucking coming out and hanging out with us. Josh stopping by here at the end. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Ryan carrying the fucking chat. Jaden coming in a little bit later. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and share the stream. It helps us out. Just getting some exposure, bringing people into Rally Towel. We know how much you love the show, but let's get your friends in here too and make it something for you. That's what we're about. You guys control the content every single night. So getting you guys in here and having some fun with us is what we're about. So I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Well, for Corey and myself, we will see you guys next week. We'll be back Tuesday with some more fun content for you guys. Probably be talking results of the All-Star game, or at least the Home Run Derby All-Star game is Tuesday. Jaden Todd is down with COVID, so he'll be back next week. But yeah, like I said, we'll be back with the results of the Home Run Derby on Tuesday and covering a little bit of the live All-Star game on Tuesday. So, all right, hanging up there. Love you guys.
Peace.